Hello and welcome. My name is John Zinni, sitting alongside Jason Cirulli, outside linebacker for the Fisher football team, the junior. And this past week against Ithaca College, had a busy day with 8 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, and interception. And for his efforts, he was named the Empire 8 Co-Defensive Player of the Week. And here at Fisher Sports Desk and the Fisher Sports Broadcasting Network, we've also named him the Player of the Week. Now, Jason, why don't we talk a little bit about how it feels to be the Player of the Week, both in the Empire 8 and here at Fisher?
Oh, it's a great honor. I didn't even really find out about it. My dad called me later that night and told me, and I was like, oh, cool. So it's really nice to be recognized for something.
Going from not being in a starting lineup, early on this season, and now, kind of had 2 really good games, both the Courage Bowl and this Ithaca game, arguably one of the best defensive players. I mean, that's quite the transition.
Yeah, it was nice to be able to be successful when I went in there, kind of maybe show the coaches maybe you should keep me in. I don't know. But I did. It was nice to do well.
Now, talking specifically about the Ithaca game, you guys held them to only 50 yards rushing and only 19 attempts, and you forced 3 turnovers. Now, what's significant about that is that all season long, they hadn't given up a turnover until they faced you guys.
Yeah, they have a really good offense, and they've been pretty careful with the ball. And I had the first turnover for them, and it was actually kind of nice because that was my first interception ever on the varsity team. Just tipped it around like 3 times and it just fell into my hands. But yeah, we played well, and our goal was to stop Donovan and Baez, their 2 running backs, and kind of take them out of the game. And we stuffed them pretty good in the first half, and they kind of went away from the running game, and we're trying to pass it the second half.
And let's talk a little bit about your role, not only this season but last season, and how that's kind of changed within this defense due to injuries and other factors.
Last year, coming into preseason camp, I was 4th on the depth chart as a sophomore, and I got a little bit of time in the beginning of the year, mostly on like special teams, and then towards the end of the game, and through a couple injuries, and they moved people to different positions. During the Brockport game, when Mike and Norton got hurt, I got to play the second half. I ended up finishing off the year in the starting lineup, which was really nice. And it was I had a lot of fun doing that, and we had a lot of fun.
Got to, of course, the Final Four of the national tournament. That was probably a great experience.
Yeah, it was pretty cool playing Mount Union. I remember I blitzed one time, and the lineman went out to block me, and I was just like, "Wow, you're huge."
they had a big front line there. I remember because we were at the game doing it too, and I was like, "These guys are huge." I'm sure people were looking at your line this year and thinking the same thing.
Yeah, those guys are pretty good. Going against them in practice, it really helps us out too because we're going against one of the best offenses.
Mm-hmm. So now, not only are you a football player here at Fisher, you also play lacrosse. You're a 2-sport athlete. Why don't we talk a little bit about how that works out throughout your school year?
Playing 2 sports it's a good experience. I like it. I make a lot more friends. I have lacrosse guys I can hang out with, and the football guys. But our lacrosse team is not at the level right now of our football team because we've only been around a couple years. So we're improving every year, making the postseason now. And as I got to get actually a little bit of time as a freshman, subbing in a little bit, and it's nice because I got to get more playing time, and it's a little to play on defense, and then when we go on offense, they kick me out because they don't like me playing on offense, but it's nice, and it's a good experience. Got lots of friends and stuff.
And now that the football team goes late into November, and sometimes like last year early into December, and then lacrosse practice starts not too long after that. So how is it not really getting a break? And if you do get a break, it's very abbreviated.
Yeah, last year I actually counted out. I had 3 weeks the entire school year where I didn't have a sport going on because football we went from before school started to the last week of school was the Mount Union game, and then lacrosse I think we had 2 weeks, and then lacrosse started up, and that went until after school was done. But in high school and in college, I've noticed my mom told me that I usually keep better on track with things because you have a sport. You don't have time to slack off or take long nap and play video games or something like that that'll eat up your time.
Like a typical college non-two-sport athlete.
Yeah. Well, I stayed a little bit better on track, and I did pretty good academically last year.
That's good. And now, moving back to football, got Hartwick coming up tomorrow, actually. And, they've got some offensive weapons that work with both the quarterback, Boltus, and the running back, Cree. So as a defensive player, what are you guys looking at to do to stop them?
Hartwick they're a really good team. They have a really good offense. And the goal, what we have to do to stop them is we just got to stop Boltus, their quarterback. He's a Division I transfer. He's a good athlete, big guy, and he's just got a rocket arm. Mm-hmm. And he watching film, he's made lots of plays where he's running around the pocket, and just finding guys open, 50 yards downfield and throwing it and running around too. Like the Ithaca game, he single-handedly beat him. He had I think he had over 100 yards rushing. He's a really good player. And then the running back, Lindy Cree, he's really good too. And he's real shifty, and they put him out at receiver a lot. He's kind of like their little Reggie Bush guy. He's a really good player. So we got to stop them and contain Boltus, and I think we'll be all right.